this new show on HBO Max called The Gilded Age. And if you love Downton Abbey, it is created by the exact same man, written by the same man, Gillian Fellows. And basically it takes you into late 1880s New York City. We're talking about names like Rockefeller, Vanderbilt. But at that time, the Rockefellers and the Vanderbilts were the new money, New York. And they would come in against the old money, New York. And the matriarch of old money, New York is played by Christine Baranski. And she ain't having it. She doesn't want no Rockefeller. She doesn't want no Vanderbilt coming up in her house. And she has some words to say about that. Let's take a look.
The old have been in charge since before the revolution, until the new people invaded.
It's not quite as simple as that.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so the show also stars Cynthia Nixon. Of course, Cynthia is right now on And Just Like That. But you get to see a glimpse into this world, much like Downton Abbey. So you have the costumes, the sets, the music. But Gillian Fellows kind of intertwines all of these story arcs so they all come together like we know and love. But, you know, there's storylines about race, about sexuality, about class distinction, which is a very big theme throughout. And there's one line in the series, which I know people are going to go crazy of, and they're going to meme it, is Christine Baranski's niece basically moves in with them. So this girl from Philly is moving into this old money New York, and the girl's kind of having trouble, and Christine Baranski leans into her and goes, "Honey, you're from old money, and don't make a mistake of that." So I already know that that's going to become like a huge, everyone's going to be quoting it. And I absolutely love the show. I'm about halfway through because we're lucky enough to get, screeners of this. I can't stop talking about it. I can't stop telling people about it because it's a blast. And it really takes you into this time that we didn't know much about.
Andrew.
Yeah, that's me.
We're coming to you. And I thought of this segue as like any night out on the town with Andrew. This next thing is not for the kids. Not for the kids at all. Not for the kids. Peacemaker.
Well, Patrick, thank you for those kind words. I don't know what kind of man you think I am, but I like to do family fun things once in a blue moon, maybe once a year. But he's right. The Peacemaker is not for kids, but you know what? Let's take a look.
You're a born killer with expertise in every weapon known to humankind. I'm giving you the chance to stay out of prison and work for me.
Kill people.
Bad people.
I have to tell you, I went into this show not having any expectations. However, it is now one of my new favorite shows. It is dark, it is raunchy, it is funny. It's got all of these things mixed into one, made by the mind of James Gunn. Of course, James is the guy behind Guardians of the Galaxy. He's also the mind behind The Suicide Squad, which premiered last year on HBO Max as well. So basically, Peacemaker follows John Cena's character from the film Suicide Squad into this series. Now, Peacemaker is a man who will kill anyone in order to get peace. Men, women, children. He doesn't care. He kills for peace, which I know is ironic. But when you watch this show, you really kind of see, these kind of outcasts come together and they're coming to fight a common good. Now, I don't want to give too much away, but there's some enemies that this group of Black Ops individuals are going to fight. But you're also going to see a John Cena like you've never seen, because everyone thinks of Cena, he's a pretty serious guy. And Jeremy, I'm sure, has interviewed him before too. But you're going to see a John Cena singing, dancing to choreographed dance numbers. You're going to see John Cena in his underwear. You're going to see John Cena naked. And you're going to see John Cena with a pet bald eagle named Eagly, which is, I know it sounds like I'm on an acid trip. And in fact, when I spoke to James Gunn, I said, how high were you when you wrote this? He wasn't high, apparently. Apparently, this is just inside his crazy mind. But it is such a blast. And the entire cast is amazing. Danielle Brooks also is one of the characters. She was on Orange is the New Black. Really incredible scenes between her and Cena. There's also some cameos from some people from the Suicide Squad, but I don't want to give too much away. It's just a really fun show, and the writing is so witty and so kind of dark and sarcastic, kind of like, I know you guys like that kind of writing. And it's a total blast. It's a total fun ride. And I asked James Gunn, I was like, you know, Cena's always so serious. How do you get him to do all this stuff? Because Jeremy, he's literally dancing around in his tighty whities, like singing and dancing. And James Gunn was just basically like, Cena trusts me. He knows that I'm never going to make him look bad. And what we're doing is kind of for the greater good. And another character in there that's also amazing is Robert Patrick. Robert Patrick, of course, the villain from Terminator, but he plays Cena's incredibly racist father. Like, this dude is the worst dude you have ever met. Probably one of the worst characters James Gunn has ever written. But his scenes are so palpable. I just can't say enough good things about this show.
Are you laughing through it, or is it like you walk away like, oh my gosh, I'm depressed?
No, you're laughing. I mean, you're laughing through it because some of the lines they're just wild, and they also bring in like current pop culture references. You know, like how James Gunn is done with Guardians. It's a very like quick, smart. Yeah. Like I think there's 8 episodes or 10 episodes. I'm not sure. I'm only like 6 in, and I'm like, I just keep watching more. Oh, also, okay, one more thing. There is an amazing intro. So before every episode, you know how you normally like skip the intro? You're not going to want to skip this intro because it is a huge choreographed dance number with everyone in the cast dancing to an 80s like heavy metal band song, including John Cena doing like all of it's wild. The show's wild.
Don't skip the intro.
Don't skip the intro. Also, there's end credits after every episode. So after you're done watching the credits, there's another little chunk. So keep watching.